but we'll see. We hear a lot of, the media and jumping in the ring. Like Devin always says, you got to put some substance with it and talk to the right people and do the right things and do it the right way, and let's make it happen. Going to happen. I know that this is that he's ready. My guy is ready. Don't want to do it, you know what I mean? And then when I said that they say everything except let's fight, that same phrase that we coined on Champ Side Boxing, it's standing to be even more.
Bill Haney blasted Shakur Stevenson live, accusing him of ducking real challenges after a Devin Haney fight offer surfaced. He questioned Stevenson's willingness to face elite competition and demanded he prove himself in the ring. Haney mocked Shakur as Twitter accusing him of talking more online than fighting top opponents. He said a Devin Haney fight offer was real and challenged Shakur to stop tweeting and sign the contract. Bill Haney addressed Shakur Stevenson's rehydration clause demands, arguing Team Haney isn't protecting Devin. Haney suggested Shakur should accept fair terms and fight, instead of adding conditions that complicate negotiations and delay a major matchup.
Where he said that he might fight Devin at 47 if he was on the rehydration clause.
He had an opportunity and we weren't. There was no clauses. There was none of that. You know what I mean? Obviously with them, the time will be right for them to fight. Now, you know what I'm saying? The weight that they fight at, they've always been one weight behind each other or one weight after. Shakur will come up, you know what I mean? Devin will be at that weight for, have been campaigning at that weight. It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. We can't go down to 135. He would have to come up. And
Devin Haney also publicly rejected the idea of a strict rehydration clause, saying it would weaken him on fight night. He argued he can't perform at his best with limits on how much weight he can gain after the weigh-in. Haney maintained he wants big fights, but not under conditions that could hurt his performance. Mickey Bay opposes adding a rehydration clause to a potential Stevenson-Haney fight. He believes elite fighters shouldn't restrict each other's weight after the weigh-in. If they agree to compete, they should simply fight under normal rules. In his view, special weight limits are only justified when a boxer fails to make the...
Stevenson wants a rehydration clause with Devin, knowing that this has been a rivalry for a while. What do you think about that? Like, what was your reaction to that?
Believe in rehydration clauses unless the fighter's overweight. If a fighter's overweight, by all means. But if you want to fight a guy, I think you should just fight him. I ain't saying that I'm only not with them two, no, because he not that much bigger than Shakur. They always been like one weight apart. But I'm saying some fights may be an exception, but I don't think fighters that good need him. Floyd, well, he did it, I think, against Canelo, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bring him up because Floyd is Floyd. Like
Otherwise, he argues a few extra pounds can significantly boost strength, durability, and overall performance, creating an unfair competitive edge. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has praised Shakur Stevenson for his recent performance, especially his victory over Teofimo Lopez, calling the fight beautiful and highlighting his discipline and tactical skill in the ring. He compared Stevenson's style to the defensive brilliance of Floyd Mayweather while noting that Shakur has been willing to face top opponents rather than avoid them.
First time around when they were talking about it, the first time around, Haney was red hot as undisputed lightweight champion, and Shakur was the boogeyman who was very good, but was having trouble locking in those big
insider
games.
boogeyman.
Right. I gotta be honest, man. Like this could, if this happens right now, this is the right timing too, because both are at a good moment in their careers.
Very high.
It's actually,
and there's a title on the line.
It's actually simmered better than it had back then, and back then it was really, really something that that you wanted to see. But now, because of Shakur's recent performance and Haney still being undefeated and having righted the ship, winning as an underdog against Brian Norman, I rate that. I rate when you take on a fight as an underdog and you win it. I rate that. You know, that's why Haney, for me, got into the circle of trust, because he wasn't trying to milk the whole business like Gervonta Davis has. So he's taking on these kind of challenges. He's winning them. He built himself up to that level to now, okay, take on all comers, win or lose, take on all comers. He's got that win over Norman as an underdog. You can say what you want post in hindsight. In foresight, a lot of people were picking against Haney. He gets that win. Shakur, in the meantime, makes his name bigger. Got to pump those numbers up, and he pumped those numbers up by winning the Teofimo Lopez fight. Now, you know what? Okay, now there's an interest from both fighters. A lot more money, a lot more at stake, a lot more, again, ambition. I like to use that word ambition today.
However, some observers note defensive quirks in Stevenson's movement, with suggestions that his distance control and footwork could be tightened so he doesn't drift too far out of effective range after slipping or blocking punches. Something that can open opportunities for aggressive opponents. Because of that, he sometimes misses chances to counterattack. Jones thinks staying a little closer would help Stevenson land counters and take advantage of opponents' mistakes more effectively.
Because look who his father is.
Hold on, but if that would have been on pay-per-view, you wouldn't have made more money with it on pay-per-view, like with the way everything
We never got into that conversation. I don't know. I never got into that conversation. Yeah. So even the part where he said, what the f he say? He said, man,
the 25% thing, you seen that?
No, he said he offered me a
flat fee. Yeah, flat fee.
Cap, like all of that shit.
No flat fee?
Man,
he said for the flat fee
said that
first,
I said
and
no,
said no,
exactly.
and then they said, all right, 25%.
Cap. None of that never happened. None of that shit.
Yeah.
It just became a 25%. That's what was offered. And honestly, I didn't really even get the offer. Somebody, big powers at Top Rank, called me about this shit. I'm like, what the f***? Hell no, we definitely not doing that. Like, that's dead. But he's capping.
Still, Jones's overall view is positive, seeing Stevenson as elite with potential to become even better with continued refinement. With both fighters firmly among boxing's elite, many observers believe now is the ideal moment for Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson to finally meet in the ring.
Why does Shakur Stevenson need the WBC's permission to fight in a different weight class for a different sanctioning body's title?
Because he requested that permission. If you want to keep your title, there are specific rules, and these rules have been in place for decades. When you are a champion in the WBC or any other organization, you have benefits from being a champion. When you are to engage in a non-title bout or in a title bout on another weight category, up or down, you need to receive the permission from the organization to do so. And that's what we have been consistent. It has happened so many times with many fighters. There's precedent.
Why is Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion?
Thank you. Let me give you the full story. We received a call from his management in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request.
Haney remains a top pound-for-pound talent and has openly called for the matchup, calling it the next big fight in the sport. Stevenson, fresh off a dominant title win and climbing the divisions, has the credentials and momentum to make this a major event if negotiations align.
insisting on them we tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC approves your petition to fight, and according to the WBC rules, a fee of $120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be, which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this. And we have done it many times. We have adjusted the sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, we initiated that and we put $120,000 fee on they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response was, we will receive it, we will address this later today.
With both fighters in peak form and fan interest high after recent big performances, a showdown could deliver one of boxing's most compelling matchups, provided they agree on terms and conditions.